Hey guys, so we're going to talk about two-step linear equations. And the reason why we call it two-step is it literally takes us 2 steps to solve it. So our first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to draw a wall between the equal sign. And that is a visual cue for us to start moving things over to the other side of the wall. The second thing we're going to want to do is box the variable. Okay, again, another visual cue to let us know our ultimate goal. And our ultimate goal when we're solving equations is to isolate the variable, or to get the variable by itself. The variable is a very grumpy little letter and does not want to be around any numbers. Now, right now it's around a 3 and it's around a -23. So we're going to start moving things over. Now the question is, which numbers do we move over first? Well, if you think about it, you've got this 3, and the 3 is like super stuck to the x, right? It's almost like an obsessed ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, right? They're Facebook stalking you, they're Instagram stalking you, they do not want to break up with you, right? Okay, that's the 3. And then you have this -23. The -23 is kind of on its own a little bit, you know, it's got its own group of friends. It's kind of either way, can move away from x, it's not too hurt. So who do you think is willing to go first? The 3, who's super stuck to x, or the -23? Well, hopefully you said -23. So -23 is going to be the first to go. And how we get rid of -23 is we take the inverse, or the opposite operation. So the opposite operation of -23 is +23. Okay, and whatever we do to one side of the wall, we're going to do the other. So we're going to add 23 here. Okay, -23 plus +23 becomes 0. They are all gone. So we're left with 3x equals 7 plus 23, which is 30. Okay, so we still have that 3 stuck to that x, which is a problem. So we're going to have to break the news. Sorry, 3, you gotta go. So what's happening between this 3 and this x? What's the operation? Well, this is actually 3 times x equals 30. So anytime you have a number glued to a variable, stuck together, with no plus sign, no minus sign between, that means multiply. So what's the inverse operation of 3 times x? Well, it's divide. So we're going to divide by 3 on both sides. Remember, fraction bar means division. So what happens here? Well, 3 divided by 3 actually becomes 1x. And you might think, well, I thought x didn't want any numbers next to it, right? I thought x was a loner. But what happens when you multiply 1 times anything? Well, it just becomes itself. 1 times x is just x, right? So x is actually okay with 1. And in fact, every single variable technically has a 1 being multiplied by right next to it. All right, so 30 divided by 3 is 10. So there's your answer. X equals 10. And you can check these just like you can check the one-step linear by plugging the 10 in. So 3 times 10 minus 23 should give us 7. Oops, sorry, you didn't see that. So 3 times 10 is 30 minus 23. 30 minus 23 is 7. We got it right. Our equation is balanced. Okay, so that is one example of a two-step linear equation. Pretty similar to the one step, just one extra step. Let's look at another example here. We have y divided by 9 plus 3 equals 13. All right. So, step 1, draw the wall. Step 2, box the variable. Okay. Y is not in a good mood because he's got a 9 under him or her, and we have a 3 being added to it. So we got to start helping y out, right? So which number do you think we can move over first? This 9 that's super close to y, or this 3 that's kind of on its own? Hopefully you said this positive 3. So we're going to take the inverse operation of positive 3. What's the opposite of positive 3? Negative 3. Both sides. This becomes 0. You're left with y over 9 equals 10. Okay. You still need to isolate that y. All right, we need to get rid of that 9. So what's happening here? Well, this is y divided by 9. What's the inverse operation of division? I hope you said multiplication. So we're going to multiply by 9 on both sides. Okay? So when we multiply by 9, we're actually multiplying by 9 over 1. Okay? And so what happens here, this becomes 9 times y, which is 9y, all over 1 times 9 is 9. Look familiar? 9 divided by 9 is 1y. Oh, there's that 1 again. Remember, the variable is always okay with the 1 because anything times 1 is itself. So 1 times y is just y. That's why it's okay with it, right? So whatever we do to this side, we have to do to the other side. So we multiplied by 9. We're going to multiply this by 9. So 10 times 9 is 90. Okay, and then of course we can check these as well by plugging 90 into our original formula or our original equation. So 90 now divided by 9 plus 3 should give us 13. So let's see, 90 divided by 9 is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. We got it right.